What's up, Internet? This is Pandragon Dan here, and I am once again joined with Morgan Strong-Comnick.
Hello, world.
Hey, how are you today, Morgan?
I am grand. How are you today, Dan?
A little bit under the weather, if I'm being perfectly honest. I think it's just come to that time of year where
Oh.
everything starts catching up with me, but I'm fine. I will soldier on, so I will
Well,
excuse. I will,
that's good because our villains need you.
I will exactly, yeah, definitely. And well, now you've mentioned that. Speaking of villains, well, it has finally come to that time. We are now down to our final two.
Ooh.
Yeah, well, what a journey it's been. We started off with 20 villains, and now it's gone down to the last two people. And wow, who'd have thought we'd ever get this far? It's incredible.
It's very surreal.
Indeed, tell me about it. Okay, well, just to update those that have just come into it. Previously, we had our semi-final matches where we had Shan Yu and Maleficent against each other. And then it was Scar versus Shere Khan. The voting has now been completed and we've tallied up the results. Are you ready to hear them now, Morgan?
I'm ready. Let's get this drum roll started.
Okay, so drum roll, please.
All right.
I can now reveal that the final two who will face each other in the final will be from Team PCP Dan, Maleficent, and Team PCP Morgan, Scar. Woo! Wow. I'll tell you what, I actually said a couple of weeks ago that, or a couple of days ago rather, I would love to see Scar Maleficent in the final. So, you know, this is pretty much a dream final, really, for us both. So I'm quite looking forward to it. I don't know about you, Morgan.
These are the two classic cliche villains, and part of me was like, no, there's going to be a twist. There's going to be a twist. But I guess they're just too awesome for words.
Not exactly, yeah. And based on what I've seen on the Facebook page so far, I think it's kind of been split down the middle between Scar and Maleficent, because I know there's been a couple of people on your team that have and ahed about who they're voting for in the final. And I know a few people of my friends have kind of like been split down the middle of who they're going to be voting for. So this is going to be quite an interesting one.
No,
Yeah.
no good.
Yeah. Anyway, we did mention to all our viewers that we would have a special surprise for the final two match. Before we get to that, though, I just want to say one thing very, very quickly, because I just realised in my last video there was actually quite an important fact about Maleficent that I missed out.
Oh?
There is, yeah. Now, you may remember, I mentioned in my last video that of the people that voiced Maleficent, like Eleanor Audrey, and was it Susan Blakesley that voiced her in the Kingdom Hearts series?
I believe so, yes.
Yeah. There was actually one other very famous voice actor that has also had the privilege of voicing Maleficent, and her name, believe it or not, is Morgan Stromland-Comnick. Bet you didn't expect that, did you, Morgan?
I did not.
Yeah. Well, for those of you that don't understand what I'm talking about, basically I do my own YouTube series called Totalitarian Warlords and Termination Squadron. It's basically a fan parody series, which Morgan has been a part of many a time.
Yes, I have.
Indeed. And the most recent video I did was a Valentine's Day special in which she voiced Maleficent.
I did.
Yeah,
it was a challenge to be evil, but it was delectable too.
Indeed, and you did such a fantastic job of it as well. It was
Thank you.
what I'll do is I will leave a link to that video if you guys want to check it out, and please do, because she also got to voice Rapunzel in that as well.
I did, and Dan does a fantastic voice.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah, I got to voice Lotso in there, and did my own version of All About the Bass, and Baby got back on that one, so that was quite funny. But anyway, let's now move on to our big announcement. So when we first did these videos for March Disney Villain Madness, me and Morgan put together a video telling what our team was and which Disney villains would be fighting against who. What we did mention, though, is we would have a secret opponent that we would only reveal when the time is right. And the time is now. So what's going to happen is, as well as Maleficent and Scar going against each other, they will each have a secret Disney villain supporting them. And we're now going to reveal to them who their special support is. So, Morgan, I have to say I have no idea who your secret character is. So, would you like to enlighten? Would you like to enlighten us as to who you're bringing with Scar in this final battle?
Oh, if you don't mind a raging sea of storms.
Oh, wait, Raging Sea of Storms. Wait, no, it's not who I think it is it?
Oh, out from the depths of the caverns, it is the sea witch Ursula!
Oh my goodness, no, you're kidding me. No, really?
Of course.
Oh, I did not see that coming. I wondered why you didn't actually include her in your main roster. Actually, I suppose this makes perfect sense. But whew, blimey, well, carry on, Morgan. You know, I guess tell everyone about Ursula, though, if they don't already know.
Little Mermaid's a classic, so I'm very thrilled to have her. She's been cooped up down there for far too long.
I bet so. Yeah, I bet she's angry now.
Oh, yeah. I mean, she's ready to steal that trident again.
I'll leave you in Morgan's capable hands, and she will tell you a little bit about competitor Ursula and why she's so awesome.
All right, so we have Ursula, the Sea Witch from The Little Mermaid, and she's actually based on the Hans Christian Andersen Sea Witch from the course Little Mermaid. But the Sea Witch in the story she's only there for like a few pages. She gives Ariel what she needs in order to become human, and that's about it. So Ursula got a much more dramatic, sinister role and new personality, which I think is awesome.
Okay, cool.
And those of you who don't know, Ursula is the Sea Witch that makes that contract Ariel how she has to get kissed by her true love in 3 days to stay human, or if not, she has to become a mermaid again.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay. Some interesting facts I just found out. Ursula is Latin for little female bear.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Which doesn't really fit in my opinion, but
well, I don't know. She's quite vicious, I guess. So in that respect, I guess. Oh, I don't know. Maybe I don't know. I'm confused.
In the original concept art, Ursula's supposed to be based off an octopus, although she only has 6 tentacles, so technically she'd be a squid. But if you count her arms, I guess there's 8.
Okay.
So there's that. But they also considered her to be a lionfish,
okay,
a rockfish, or to be like a half human, half snake creature.
Interesting.
Disney finally decided that they wanted octopus. They watched a documentary about octopus, and they're like, "Ooh, that's it." I don't know how fun it'd be to watch documentaries all day, but okay. I talked about her being a squid. She actually, her looks were inspired by a famous drag performer named Divine.
Okay.
Which I was like, okay, I can see that. Unfortunately, Divine passed away while the film was in production, so they didn't get to tell Divine that they were the inspiration for Ursula, which I thought was kind of sad. Ursula's body gestures, which are very funny, are based on Nora Desmond from Sunset Boulevard.
All right.
Which she's pretty classic. And then Pat Carroll does Ursula's voice. I love Pat Carroll. She's so funny.
Excellent.
She describes, this is her quote from her. She describes Ursula as part Shakespearean actress with all the flair, flamboyance, and theatricality, but also part of used car salesman with a touch of con artist.
Ah, I can see that.
And I was like, that's a really awesome description. And she actually, Miss Carroll, deepened her voice just for the role of Ursula because she wanted it that badly.
Oh, wow.
And then you like Disney deaths. We've gone for that. We're both morbid.
Yeah, defo.
And we tend to quote Watch Mojo quite a bit, but it's a pretty awesome online source. They do a lot of research. And Ursula's death has been on 2 of their videos.
It has, yes.
Yes. One of the most graphic Disney deaths. I think it was 3. I can't quite remember. It was in the top 5 for sure. Yep. And then actually it also got in it again in cartoon deaths, not just Disney. The top 10 cartoon deaths, because she gets impaled by an airship. Sorry, spoiler alert. For those few of you who have not seen the movie, you live under rocks, apparently. And there's a scene in Kingdom Hearts 2. Ursula is the villain in both Kingdom Hearts 1 and 2. Actually, they took the original storyboard concept of her death that they changed, and they put it in Kingdom Hearts 2.
Okay.
So if you play Kingdom Hearts 2, like I do, then you get to kind of see that, but it's less blood. Apparently, it's going to be gorier. Disney has a problem with that, I noticed.
Yes, yeah, I noticed that as well.
In the original draft of the film, it was actually Ursula was going to be King Triton's sister.
Okay.
And then Ariel. And they actually, in the Broadway version of the show, they made this actually fiction.
Oh, right.
Fact. So, okay. Yeah. Let's see. She's also the only Disney villainess with a beauty mark.
Okay.
And she also has a sibling from a movie who is evil. She is the only Disney villain with that.
Okay.
So it runs the family.
Guess so, yeah. Even running that family. I had to be at their family dinner when it comes to Thanksgiving or Christmas or something like that.
Oh my god, I would too. So that is Ursula. She's a sea witch. I mean, she has the ability to turn mermaids into humans, turn you into little shriveled up soul pieces, take your, just crash your ships and become giants. And I mean, just think about that and Scar together. Pretty good.
Yeah, it would be interesting because it's like Scar can attack from the ground and Ursula can attack from the sea. So they've got both things, and she's got magic as well, which Scar lacks. So she'll be able to, I guess, counteract most what Maleficent throws at Scar. So that's a good choice, I've got to say. Actually,
Well, thank you.
yeah, that's a really good choice. Yeah. Right then. Well, is it my turn now?
Yeah, I'm curious what you got now.
Right. Well, okay. Now Ursula, that's a fantastic choice. I just want to make this absolutely clear. It's a great choice.
Thank you.
You're very welcome. Now, the guy that I've chosen, let's be fair, we've had some pretty nasty villains in our team. I mean, like, I've had Maleficent, Frollo, and Gaston, which is pretty nasty. You've had Scar, King Candy, Syndrome, some pretty nasty villains. I think it's fair to say. And even when we did our honorable mention list, we mentioned some pretty nasty villains. What would you say if I were to say that the guy that I've selected is what most Disney fans consider, and indeed Walt Disney himself consider, the ultimate representation of pure evil?
Ooh.
Okay.
I'm going to sing into bi-genre territory in my writing.
Well, what we're going to do here is I'm going to go back to like old school Disney here, and like really, really old school here. But my secret weapon, and the one who'll be joining Maleficent in this final battle, will be... And the thunder strikes, the blackness causes, and out from the depths of hell itself rises... Chernabog!
Oh.
Yeah. This is a villain that I've actually been looking forward to release ever since I put him on my list. But yeah, I think really this guy, if you think about it, is arguably the most evil Disney villain of all time. For many different reasons, which I shall go into. But
I'd love to hear him.
Oh, yes, indeed. Right, well, first of all, let's go to a few facts about Chernabog. He was in the film Fantasia in the Night on Bald Mountain segment, which is the last part of that film. He was animated by Vladimir Teitler, who I don't actually think worked with oh wait, sorry, no, that's another guy I'm thinking of. But yeah, Vladimir Teitler was a guy who animated him, and he's been described as his greatest triumph. Now, in many ways, Chernabog is a perfect mix for Maleficent, and I'll explain that later. But first of all, I just want to correct a mistake I made when I talked about my Maleficent video, because in my Maleficent video, I mentioned that Chernabog was Finnish for devil. That's actually not strictly speaking true. In actual fact, I found out after that Chernabog was a deity in Slavic tradition, and his name is translates as Dark God, which I did actually put on the video as a note afterwards, but I just wanted to clear that up, and apologies for any confusion on that matter. But now, Chernabog as a character was voted by the Nostalgia Critic, I should say, as the #1 greatest Disney villain of all time in his top 11 Disney villains list. However, in that list, and we briefly discussed this in the last podcast, he actually got into trouble because he named him the Devil, and some fans basically had to go for that because his actually named as Chernabog. However, in fairness, Walt Disney himself did actually refer to him in an interview as Satan, so, we can't actually blame the Nostalgia Critic for that. And, he does look like the devil. I think you mentioned, and Morgan, that you called him Lucifer in the past.
Yeah, I was told that's his name growing up.
Well, yeah. Well, I think it's like we discussed before, the name Chernabog, it does mean Dark God, which could mean like devil or something like that. So I don't think we could have too much of a go in. But anyway, here's some more facts about Chernabog and why he's one of the more evil Disney villains. Now, if you think about it, if you look at a lot of the Disney villains, certainly the ones that we've mentioned, most of them have like a reason for doing what they're doing. Scar, he killed his brother because he wanted to take his throne. Frollo believed that he was doing God's work in eliminating all the gypsies. Gaston tried to have her father committed because he wanted to marry Belle, and then eventually tried to kill Beast. So generally, on the whole, I think a lot of villains do have motivations for what they're doing. Chernabog actually doesn't, if you think about it, because if you look at the whole sequence with him in Night of Bald Mountain, you basically see him torturing souls and like creating demons and like creating general chaos, simply just because he's just pure evil. He has no reason for doing what he's doing. He doesn't need a reason. He's basically the devil, and he does what he wants because he is just pure evil. And that, in sense, makes him one of the more frightening Disney villains, because there is no rhyme or reason for doing what he does. He's just pure chaos.
Well, if he has that kind of power too, I mean, why not use it?
Exactly, yeah. I mean, that's fair. I don't know if any of you guys have ever seen that scene in Fantasia, but it's actually quite a frightening scene. And even Watch Mojo admit that the music played in the background has become synonymous with fear and terror. And to be honest, it is quite a frightening sequence. I mean, I remember one time I saw, actually, believe it or not, I actually saw Fantasia at the cinema when it was re-released. And the first time I saw it, when I was a little kid, it was like, that scene kind of passed me by. I didn't really think much of it. But I remember a few years ago, during my college years, I was around a friend's house that used to watch a lot of Disney films. And we actually watched that scene while, how do I say it? Shall we just say intoxicated? I'll leave it at that. And,
Not quite with it.
not quite with it, yeah, we'll just leave it at that. But honestly, I think I found that scene more frightening as an adult than I did as a child. But I think what makes Chernabog so frightening is because he's like the archetypal devil character. You know, everyone, even if you've grown up with like religion, or even if you haven't, we've all had this idea of like the devil, which is the cause of all evil in the world, being engraved into our minds. So that's probably what makes him more terrifying, because you know he's been engraved in our mind, and we automatically know he's the representation of pure evil. In other media, they did actually try to give some context to doing what he was doing, but I think in House of Mouse, he appeared mainly as like a comic foil. I've got to be honest, I don't remember a lot of House of Mouse. I never really saw it. Now, I mentioned Vladimir Titli, the guy that animated him earlier. Now, he himself is Ukrainian and had a clear image of his mind of what this character is in his folklore. Apparently, there was something I read that one of the guys at Disney by the name of Thornton He recalled wanting to ask Titli about something, but finding the animator's room was completely in darkness, save for the fluorescent light under his drawing, which lit his face in eerie ways as he worked. This unnerved him so much to compel him to leave without alerting Titli to his presence at all. So even the animator seemed to be quite dark and creepy when animating him, so that's saying something. Now, the actual idea for Chernabog was conceived by German artist Heinrich Kley, and again, I do apologise if I'm mispronouncing any of these names here. Now, he was a guy that didn't officially work at the Disney studio, but he did inspire many of the artists working there, and apparently Walt Disney himself collected his drawings, so he did have quite a big impact. Now, the actual sketch that inspired him was a gigantic demon forcing workers out of the factory by blocking the chimney. What else? Albert Herter apparently inspired this drawing, and others like it by Kley, and he drew various sketches of a huge winged devil tossing handfuls of souls into a volcano. So yeah, there's that bit of inspiration here. What else can I say here? I've only got a couple more facts, so I'll try not to go too long. Now, here's something I did actually find quite interesting. Apparently, Chernabog had a cameo appearance in a DC comic storyline called Kingdom Come, which I find particularly ironic because if you think about it, Disney owned Marvel Comics, and as you know, Marvel Comics are DC's biggest competitor. Yeah. Although, that being said, this storyline came out before Disney acquired Marvel, so I don't think we can read too much into that. But it does seem quite interesting, seeing that Chernabog is technically a Disney character. He would appear in technically competitors, so that's something. Like anything else, he's appeared in Kingdom Hearts and a load of other Disney characters, with a load of Disney characters, I should say, and a few rides at Disney World. But now, here's the main reason why I think Chernabog makes such a perfect match with Maleficent. Now, I mentioned briefly in the Maleficent video that in the book's Kingdom Keepers, she is said to be the main antagonist. But in actual fact, she says that there was someone more powerful than her. And it does end up being Chernabog, who actually does become the main antagonist of the Kingdom Keepers book. So, and here's another thing I do find quite interesting. In Sleeping Beauty, Maleficent said that she has all the powers of hell at her command. Now, knowing that Disney like to connect their films somewhere, I wonder, could this be a subtle connection to Chernabog in some way?
It's possible.
Yeah, I mean, if Chernabog is essentially the devil of the Disney world, there's absolutely nothing to say that Maleficent couldn't have anything to do with it. And in actual fact, the Nostalgia Critic made a good point when he mentioned Chernabog in his video, because he said, while Chernabog doesn't have any direct contact with any of the villains or any other characters in the Disney universe, he's working through the villains, like he's their influence, and he's basically the main influence for all evil in the Disney world, if you can believe that. But here's one final fact. Chernabog is also unique in that, if you think about it, there is no heroic character to stand against him. He's basically free to torment all those souls as much as he wants, and it's only when the light shines through that he's finally defeated. Because at the end of the film, basically, a light shines through, and he basically cowers away. And I don't know what it is, but it's just the way he moves his wings around and he curls actually into the top of the mountain and he just basically hides into it. The animation though, that is really, really creepy, I've got to say. But yeah, so that's my secret character, Chernobog, the manifestation of all evil.
Ooh, well, that puts a new way of thinking to the devil made me do it.
Absolutely, yeah. Oh, I think we've actually, well, I think we've both got some very interesting ones there. And interestingly enough, they're both magic users as well. So I think that will definitely give our characters the edge that we need.
Yeah, and yours flies and mine swims.
Exactly, yeah, indeed. And I suppose mine could summon an army of evil ghosts to help fight as well. So, and don't forget, Maleficent can also turn into a dragon as well.
Oh, she can.
But anyway, like with anything, with these final twos, the only way that they can win is with your votes.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So was that Morgan?
I said absolutely.
Absolutely, yeah. Oh, excellent, yeah. So basically, the voting will be open now, and I believe now I got these dates wrong last time, so I'm going to double check. We will keep these open until the 29th of March, where the winner will be revealed. Is that right, Morgan?
That sounds great.
Excellent. So this is what's going to go down. As well as the main poll, we're also going to have a separate poll. Sorry, we get a little Phil Flurry animal in here. Oh, Flurry animal. Oh God, this is what happens when I don't get any sleep or I get ill. But anyway, we will have a separate poll with Chernobog and Ursula. So what we'd like you guys to do is, as well as voting for Maleficent and Scar, vote for Chernobog or Ursula. But here's the twist. Whatever votes will be that Chernobog or Ursula get will be counted towards their respective partner. So every vote you get that Chernobog gets will be added to Maleficent votes, and every vote that Ursula gets goes to Scar's votes. So basically, now you've got even more chances to get to give votes to your favourite character, and and as you can imagine, the more votes they get, then whoever they will be the winners, and whoever wins this match will be crowned the ultimate Disney bad guy as far as March Disney Madness is concerned.
And we also have a special person who gets to do a unique type of voting too.
Indeed, yeah. Did you want to mention that as well, Morgan?
Yeah, we have a very awesome publisher, guys, for Paper Crane Books. She is fantastic, and she's made all of our banners.
She has indeed, yeah. Any of you seen the banners on Facebook? That's all been
red.
Sheena. Oh, that's been fantastic, yeah.
So she gets a special little bonus that she will get to vote, but her vote will count for 5 votes.
Oh, absolutely, yes. That we're really ramping the tension up here for this final battle. So yeah, so now there's never been a more desperate time for you to get your votes in. So yeah. Anyway, so those are the final two and their partners. So get your votes coming in now. You have up until the turn of the 29th of March UK time to vote. The winner will be announced on the 29th of March midday. Again, this is all UK time here. And then after that, we will reveal what the penalty for the loser is.
Oh boy.
Oh, I don't know about you, but I'm quite nervous about this now. I don't think I've ever been more nervous.
I'm getting a little nervous too, but we also have our 15 vote videos to do, so that'll be pretty fun.
Exactly, yeah. And I've recently released a 15 vote video yesterday, I believe it was. So keep an eye on those, and yep, keep your votes coming in because the more votes we get, the more impressions we get to do.
Woohoo!
Excellent, yeah. Morgan, is there anything else you'd like to add to this?
I would just like to thank everybody for supporting our event. It's been quite the endeavor/adventure.
Absolutely.
And I think we're going to take a little Disney hiatus for a while, but we're glad you guys love it as much as we do.
Yeah, like Morgan says, thanks to everyone who's voted for it. It's been absolutely fantastic. You've really made this the most enjoyable experience ever. And Morgan, thank you so much for being a part of this with me as well. It's been absolutely fantastic.
Well, thank you for inviting me, and thank you for working with me. I've had a blast.
Fantastic. Yeah, so have I. It's one of the best moments of my life, I have to say.
Aww.
Yeah.
See, guys, we really don't hate each other. And on our faces, it's all a joke.
Oh, of course, it's all a joke. But anyway, so yeah. So get those votes in, and may the best villain win.
All right.
Indeed.
Let's see. Maleficent or Scar?
Maleficent or Scar. It's down to you guys, so get your votes in now.
All right. Thanks, guys.
Yeah, thanks, guys. So we shall see you after the event is over. Thanks for watching, guys. We will speak to you soon. And it's goodbye from me.
And sayonara from Morgan.
Okay, thanks for watching, guys. Take care.
Bye.
Bye.